All right, to look at this Risk Barometer by Allianz, Doris Pageant joins us now, all the way from Paris. Good morning, Doris. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Chimize. Good morning. Thank you for having me today.
So tell us about the 2021 Risk Barometer and its findings and why it's important, for businesses.
Yeah, that's true. That's correct. So what we've seen is large-scale terrorism attacks have tended to decline over the past 5 years on a very global level. And we've recorded a significant increase in the number of riots, demonstrations, vandalism. And I think we have been entering a very interesting period of social effervescence across the globe. And just to name a few, earlier this month, we've seen anti-government protests in Senegal following the arrest of a popular opposition leader. Back in 2020, we've seen Black Lives Matter in the US. I think we can also mention the Hong Kong protests. And we can have a look at what we've seen in Chile as well, or the Yellow Vest movements in France. So these protests are driven by a really variety of causes and roots. And this is ranging from the economic hardship to the police brutality. And I think it's key mentioning the role of the social media because they have revolutionized the political world. It's making it easier for people to organize themselves. And it's making it easier for people to expose the acts really of corruption and abuse of power. I think it's key also to mention the fact that COVID-19 is making only the things worse. And overall, this means that civil unrest are not the main key risk for companies when it comes to political violence.
Okay, Doris, your 2021 Risk Barometer identified civil unrest as a key business risk globally. Political risk and violence returned to the top 10 risks for the first time since 2018. What are the key reasons for this rise?
Really, like I said, it's ranging from the economic hardship and the social inequality in the society. We've been also seeing a lot of riots as a reason of police brutality, for instance. Some events are predictable. Some, like events close to national or local elections, some are absolutely not predictable, like Chile or the Hong Kong protests. So I think there's really a variety of causes. And I would really like to stress the impact of COVID-19 and the role of social media in the riots.
Now, your report says, fortunately, large scale of terrorism events have declined drastically in the last 5 years. Well, I want to believe that's globally. But looking at Nigeria specifically, that has continued. Nigeria has continued to witness acts of terrorism and kidnapping, aside from the NSAS protest, of course, that we witnessed last year, and your report, of course, mentioned that. What is Allianz's assessment of Nigeria's environment as regards political and social disturbances?
Yeah, so that's a very valid point. That's correct, the fact that large-scale attacks have decreased overall globally, but it is absolutely true that terrorism is still very high in the agenda of Nigeria. This is particularly true in the northeast region of the country, of course, with Boko Haram being active for more than a decade now. And our clients, and we've seen many events and different tactics, ranging from suicide bombs, car attacks, bombings, and you mentioned kidnappings, and that's true. Kidnapping is really high also in the agenda of our clients. So I think the best way for our clients to mitigate the risk is to get prepared, and this is only possible through business planning and having really a crisis management plans really at hand and rehearsed. This is also key in the conversation we have with our clients operating in Nigeria.
So what sectors are mainly exposed to these type of political and social violence, and why?
So Over the past year, we've been really seeing retailers, so shops, really being exposed to the political violence in the concept of riots. If you zoom a bit more on Nigeria, I would say that our clients really operating in the oil and gas industry are the key targets for such attacks.
Now, what sort of implication do you see these social unrest having on insurance companies, particularly here in Nigeria?
Yeah, so just to give you some figures, globally, the consequences of the civil unrest may cost the insurance industry some billions of US dollars, and for us, it means that we need to assess perhaps better the risks. We need to assess better the range of premiums we're offering to our clients, but it also means that we need to give access to crisis management experts to our clients so as to mitigate the risks. So really, it's both a combination of being able to predict, being able to better assess the risks, and being able to give access to our clients to the best security expert in the industry.
But how far do you think insurance cover can go in protecting businesses in times of upheaval?
Absolutely. I mean, we can protect our clients in a very wide range of periods, and it goes from terrorism till war, and any escalation phase of such as sabotage, riots, revolution, rebellion, coup d'etat can be included in our insurance program. And I want to mention that you don't need to suffer direct physical damage to be impacted. I mean, your business income and the loss of earnings you can suffer as a result of riots is key. And it is absolutely something we can insure so that we help our clients to recover and get back on their feet as soon as possible.
Now, what kind of policies are in demand now against civil unrest for businesses?
Well, Chimizi, I can say that we receive each and every day hundreds of demands globally at Allianz because clients are looking for these political violence insurance policies, and covering the non-damage business interruption is something that is very key. So to answer your question, I would say that, yes, this kind of political violence insurance policies are really a high priority for our clients.
Okay, for you, are there better ways the government can help mitigate these risks?
Well, I think in that situation, the coordination with governments and any dialogue with law enforcement bodies are really helpful if you can have them beforehand. And it comes back to our point about business planning and having a pure crisis management plan well established and rehearsed.
Now, Doris, before I let you go, for how long do you think crisis will be at the top of your barometer, looking at what COVID-19 is doing presently?
Well, I wish I had a straight answer to that question. I'd say at least for the next 2 years, because we will still experience the outcome of the COVID-19 crisis. So I would say in a short term, 2 years ahead, and probably more than a decade.
All right, thank you very much. We do appreciate your time, Doris.
Thank you.
Doris Pageant is a crisis management expert at Allianz.